Just recently to pick up a European Tour title in Gibraltar. He is a class act, really coming into his best over the last couple of years. But the same could be said of his trailblazing opponent here, Fallon Sherrock, the Queen of the Palace, as she was introduced, courtesy of her heroics back in 2019 at the World Championships, where she won through 2 rounds, beating Mensa Suljevic and Ted Evett in the process, and backing that kind of a performance up over the last couple of years. And that's what's so special about Fallon Sherrock, with repeated achievements after achievements. Most recently, in the other round, the only other round of the World Series that we've had this year, this disrupted year, getting all the way through to the final in Copenhagen. It's an intriguing prospect, isn't it, this one, Chris? Every time Fallon Sherrock takes to the stage.
Yeah, it was that incredible comeback from 7-1 and 8-2 down against the man we've just seen brush de Sousa aside, beating Dimitri by the narrowest of margins in the end, in spectacular fashion. Krzysztof shouldn't have too many issues. He actually practices with his wife, who is a very, very good player in her own right. Plays a lot of soft tip darts, as did Ratajski before making the transition across into the steel tip game. Now, interestingly, Krzysztof's running average after 79 matches on the Pro Tour is around 96-89. And the most recent form guide we have from Fallon was the 24 matches she recently played in the women's series, and on 7 occasions 60. She averaged enough to be comparable when Ratajski is somewhere around his B+ game.
Yeah, the margins between both the form book in terms of averages pretty slight. Over the last 9 games of that series you were just talking about, the PDC Women's Series, she averaged 94.12, topping out at 103 very nearly against Mizuka Suzuki at one point. Nothing wrong with her darts at all at the moment, and she finds herself in with a chance here, albeit a slight one of a maximum to take the first leg against the throw. She will come back, and so too will Krzysztof Ratajski, unless he can take out 101 though.
101.
Both players just feeling their way into this match at the moment. Looking for a treble 19. Ooh.
Yeah, it was a 102.95 against Mikuru Suzuki.
61.
So chance
he also
here.
had an average of 103.90 on the same day against Lorraine Hyde, who averaged 87.48.
Oh, that was close.
74.
For a very early break.
40.
Ratajski now, 3 darts at tops. Only needs 1. Holding on to his throw, but by the skin of his teeth. That did not miss by much by Fallon Sherrock.
Thickness of a wire away.
Yeah, that PDC Women's Series that we were alluding to just at the beginning of this month, or was it back in September? She just about won the series, didn't she? Incredibly tight in the end, securing with that a place in the Grand Slam of darts.
Yes, alongside Lisa Ashton, who also played her part in a wonderful women's series. Dita Hedman finishing 3rd.
60.
Great to see Trina Gulliver, the Golden Girl, back playing to a very, very high standard. Great to see her back playing.
109.
Second maximum, this time going to Ratajski.
But yeah, the dominance of Fallon and Lisa was there for all to see, and it's up to the ladies to catch them up. They had a similar thing with Taylor and Dennis Priestley, I suppose. Those two were the original dominant force of WDC and then PDC darts. Those seem to be them there or thereabouts in the finals.
Well, the amazing thing about those 4 names you just mentioned is that Hedman and Gulliver, in a way, they were the Taylor and Priestley of their generation. And they're still there or thereabouts.
Yep. Right, especially Dita. I mean, She's been playing well forever. And again, Fallon finds herself on the 170.
170.
Seen it once already from Jeffrey Deswan.
Good first start.
98.
Chance here though for
16.
Krzysztof Ratajski to break the throw at the first possible opportunity. Double eight gets it
He's on
done.
the second leg.
Very, very good on the
Krzysztof
doubles so far. Krzysztof Ratajski goes into a 2-0 lead. And Sherrock, let's see what she can do to respond here.
180 in each of the opening 2 legs for Ratajski. And as you said, mustard on the outer ring.
140.
2 out of 2 on the doubles. And he's made a very impressive start, averaging 103.66 in the early stages of this one, which is an indication of how quick he's been out of the blocks.
Yeah, looks very poised, looks very concentrated.
Well, she's had one dart at 114, hasn't she, in the opening leg, and that's it. Even that early, it would have put a slightly different
59.
take on the game. And certainly how Ratajski may have approached the rest of the match.
I mean, so far the story is that Ratajski's performing just a notch above his consistent average throughout the year, if you like, and Sherrock's quite significantly down on what she's normally capable of. And that's the story at the moment, and a little bit of frustration, I think, early on beginning to creep into her game. Because at the moment there is a bit of a gulf in what they're producing at the moment, but that can fluctuate.
100.
How many times have we seen it? But Sherrock yet to really get into her stride.
100. It's a very cool 110.
3 legs, she's had one opportunity in that 1 dart tops in leg 1, that's it.
Well, that little bounce out there gives Sherrock just an opportunity, if she can score heavily here, to take ownership of this leg at least.
Looking at 719s to score 133 to leave 170.
95.
For the
full-headed customer, isn't she? She really is.
Well, there is a saying, but it's a little bit early.
97.
She's up against an opponent in Ratajski who displays exactly the same psychological credentials.
Beautifully put.
Thank you very much.
Correct.
90.
Well, this is it. There's a break coming up, isn't there? And a world of difference between exiting the stage 4-1 down and potentially 3-2 and having... Well, welcome back to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam. April the 27th in this country is Queen's Day. Every year, big celebration, much akin to what's going on in the floor here this evening in the Amsterdam Arena. And Fallon Sherrock will be hoping that somehow she can turn this around.
Game on.
The Queen of the Palace can pull off a remarkable comeback, but at the moment she's up against an opponent in Krzysztof Ratajski who's showing no signs of wobbles and no signs of cracking. That very concentrated facade of his looks bulletproof at the moment, Chris Mason.
Yes, it's just been rock solid. Averaging, as you can see, 99.24 after the 58 start, but he's been unflappable so far.
83.
Well, how will Sherrock be affected? And indeed Ratajski. But 3. Funny how that doesn't get a cheer. One of the massive injustices in darts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They were 3 perfect darts.
64.
Break of throw.
And that puts him right in the box seat, and Sherrock almost a shake of resignation there. There's a mountain to climb for the darter from Milton Keynes against the Polish Eagle now. And for all we do talk rightly about Fallon Sherrock's history-making career to date, It's worth noting that Ratajski is the greatest Polish darts player there's ever been. And what he's done.
And a former world master.
Yep.
And in terms of on the floor, he's in the top 10 of
5 players' titles he's picked up the last couple of years.
Yep, top pro. Talking about women's darts, I was just checking my notes. 2001, she had a tournament average of just shy of 90, 89.45, and that stands up, you know, plays fewer games